back, relax, and maybe get yourself a snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hey guys, so I'm here today to do a quick little book haul for you guys because there are a couple of things that I picked up when I recently went to London. I went up to see various different booktubers and we went for a lovely day out in the proper sunshine, summery weather. England is not usually this hot, and I think it was about 26 degrees whilst we were walking around London, so it was pretty toasty, but it was absolutely lovely. We had a delightful day, and we always do, and it was just really, really good fun. So, of course, because I was on a bookshop crawl round London, I knew that I had to do a stop-in at Forbidden Planet, and I was doing incredibly well up until Forbidden Planet because most of the other indie shops we went into were beautiful, they had loads of books, but they're not necessarily fantasy or sci-fi heavy, and so I didn't feel too tempted by anything. And then I went to Forbidden Planet, and I actually went on my own because everyone else was keen to go to Foyles, and I was like, no, I like science fiction and fantasy. I'm going to go to Forbidden Planet and meet you all in a bit. So I was in there for about an hour and a half, I think, and I had a little look round, a little rummage, and I picked up 4 books, which I'm really excited to give a go to. And then I've also got 4 novellas that are all part of the same series, and they were sent to me very recently by an author, a self-published one, so I want to show you them as well. So let's start off with the things that I picked up for myself when I went to Forbidden Planet. So the first one I picked up is this one, and this is Winterwood. First one of the ElleKayEm series, and this is by J.C. Bedford. It says on the front, a tale of magic, piracy, adventure and love, and this one I've never heard of, although I think I've seen the cover art somewhere before, but I definitely don't think I've heard anyone really talk about it. It says, it's 1800. Mad King George is on the British throne and Bonaparte is hammering at the door. Magic is strictly controlled by the Mysterium, but despite several penalties, not all magic users have registered. Integral to so many genteel households is an uncomplaining army of Rowan-kind bond servants, so commonplace that no one recalls where they ever came from. Ross Tremaine, widowed, cross-dressing privateer captain and unregistered witch, likes her life on the high seas, accompanied by a boatload of swashbuckling pirates, and the possessive ghost of her late husband Will. When she pays a bitter deathbed visit to her long-estranged mother, she inherits a half-brother she didn't know about and a task that she doesn't want, and right an ancient wrong if she can. So it sounds pretty good actually, and it sounds like there's a lot of stuff packed into here. It's quite a small mass market paperback, but it is roughly 420 pages, so I guess it's a regular size book if it was normal size. I actually really like the cover art photo. I'm not a huge fan of like people on covers, and I definitely don't think that this random bear wolf thing on the back is that exciting, but whatever. I'm going to give it a go. Pirates and swashbuckling adventure with magic boxes and hidden away fae all sounds pretty cool and fun to me. So let me know if you've heard of this author and if you've read their work before, because I've never heard of them, but I'm definitely keen to give it a go now that I've heard of it. The next book that I picked up from Forbidden Planet is one that is a Tor.com novella. This is The 5 Daughters of the Moon, the first one in the Waning Moon duology, by Lena Licatalo. I believe I've read one of this author's short stories in a magazine that I read a while ago, something like Clark's World maybe. I'm not exactly certain of which one it was in, but I read one of her short stories and really enjoyed it. So when I saw that she had a book coming out, I intended to get it and then I kept forgetting about it. So when I saw it, I picked it up. I thought, it is time. And this is inspired by the 1917 Russian Revolution and the last months of the Romanov sisters. The 5 Daughters of the Moon is a beautifully crafted historical fantasy with elements of technology fueled by evil magic. Sounds good. The Crescent Empire teeters on the edge of revolution, and the 5 Daughters of the Moon are the ones to determine its future. Alina, 6, fears Gregov Patslav and his great thinking machine. The Gargagi claims that the machine can predict the future, but at a cost that no one seems to want to know. Merle, 11, cares only for her dogs, but she smells that something is afoul with the Gargagi. By chance, she learns that the machine devours human souls for fuel, and no one believes her claim. Sibylla, 15, has fallen in love for the first time in her life. She couldn't care less about the unrest spreading through the countryside, or the rumours about the Gargagi and his machine. Elise, 16, follows the captain of her heart to orphanages and workhouses, but soon she realises the unhappiness amongst her people runs much deeper than anyone could have predicted. And finally, Celeste, 22, who will be the Empress one day. Lately she's drawn to the Gargaji, but which one of them was the first to mention the idea of a coup? It sounds like it's going to be pretty dramatic, quite interesting that it's inspired by Russian history, and I'm looking forward to giving it a go for sure, so I'm definitely down for reading this fairly soon and hopefully I'll really enjoy it as well. The next one I picked up again was one that is by an author I've never heard of. It was just a chance sort of see it and read the blurb and see what I think, and this is the first one in a series. It's called The Magicians and Mrs Quint. It's by Galen Beckett, and it had a quote from Robin Hobb on the front which drew me in. It says, "Charming, a banquet" by Robin Hobb. This says, Galen Beckett weaves a dazzling spell of adventure and suspense in an evocative world of high magic and genteel society. So it sounds a bit Fantasy of Manners to me. A world where one young woman discovers that her modest life is far more extraordinary than she ever imagined. Of the three Lockwell sisters, romantic Lily, prophetic Rose, and studious book-loving Ivy, it's Ivy the eldest who has held the family together after their father's silent retreat up to the library. Everyone blames Mr. Lockwell's malady on his magical studies, but Ivy still believes both in magic and its power to bring her father back. Yet it is not until Ivy takes a job with reclusive Mr. Quint that she discovers the fate she shares with a secret society of highwaymen, revolutionaries, illusionists and spies who populate the island nation of Altania. It's a fate that will determine whether Altania faces a new dawn or an everlasting night. And I believe the quote from Robin Hobb is kind of what sold me on it, so I'll read you that. It's a charming and mannered fantasy confection with a darker core of gothic romance wrapped around a mystery. Fans of any of these will enjoy it. Readers who enjoy all of the genres will find it a banquet. So I'm definitely keen to give this a go and find out a bit more about it. Hopefully I like this author and their writing style. And again, if you have read this or you've heard of this author, do let me know, because it's another one that I've not seen at all, I don't think. So definitely let me know if you've read this. Next up, I picked up a new one in a series that I'm reading, and that is Descender. I picked up volume 5 because I'm planning to do a readathon very soon. You'll see an announcement about it very soon, and I am probably going to read this, so I wanted to have the final ones in this series, or at least be up to date with the series before that readathon started, so I just picked this one up. It's a beautiful series about a little boy robot who is lost in space, trying to find his family. It's told in beautiful watercolours, as you can see, and I love the art style. I've really enjoyed the story, so hopefully I'll enjoy this volume as well. And then finally, I have a collection of 4 novellas that came together from an independent author. She contacted me and asked if I would be interested, and it sounded like a lot of fun, so I said yes please, and that is this series, the Tales of Captain Duke series, which is by Rebecca DM. I believe there are 4 currently out, and I think there might be a 5th coming. They're all novellas, so they're quite short. The first one, in fact, is less than 100 pages, and you can see inside that she's sent me all this swag with it. So I've got a little postcard, and then a bookmark which has different bits of the cover on, and you can see the author on the back. And then she sent me this really beautiful little envelope with a card in it, and the card has a little stamp of a typewriter on it, so it's really cool. And she just says, "Dear Kitty, thank you for coming on the adventure with me. Happy reading." So definitely excited to give this series a go. I believe it's kind of inspired by steampunk and pirates, which is definitely good. So the first one says, airships, pirates and secret identities. When Clara dreamed of running away to seek her own adventures, she never imagined that a chance encounter with the legendary Captain Duke might set her life on an entirely different course. Armed with her wit and charm, she can usually talk her way out of troubles, but first she has to get back to solid ground. So that is the first novella, and then the next ones are From Heaven to Hell, A Gentleman and a Scholar, Of Tempests and Teacups. So those are the ones I currently have. Definitely keen to get my teeth into this. It seems like it'll be really fun and light-hearted, and they look really nice all together, as you can see. So I'm definitely looking forward to these, and thank you so much to the author for sending them to me. So that is everything I have for you in this haul. Do let me know in the comments what you've been picking up recently and whether you've read any of the ones I just mentioned or you're interested in them. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.